Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Thank you for coming to the Sabrprints2A Show. And here we go. Welcome to the Sabrprint.
Folks that watch me like a microscope. I mean, so close, I might as well start me a show. Knowing what I throw with reverse I rolls, cause I fish like a boss man wherever I go. I'm like, come on, dude, we can have the same damn lure, onshore, offshore, and I'll still catch more. So therefore, don't let your peepers mislead you. I'm out here catching keepers, rapping about it through your speakers, casting out wind cheaters with fluorocarbon leaders. I swing like Derek Jeter, you fish at Harris Teeter. Baby, one mind.
Hey, we got the one, the only Trophy Trout. Hey man, how you doing? Thank you for being in the show.
Good. How are you? Thanks for being here, man.
Good man, good.
Glad to be
Hey,
here.
so check this out.
Alrighty. Let's see. How do I look at that? Can I see it on the site? Oh, I can.
You can't or no?
Wow. Nice. The gang's all here. My two friends.
Yeah. I mean, it says we got 4 people, so somebody's missing. Come on, comment, guys. Okay, but let's start this, man.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, here we go. So, for the people that don't know who you are, introduce yourself and let them know a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I'm Trophy Trout. I am a member of Are We Cool Yet? I'm kind of somehow a troll over there sometimes. I don't know how that happened. I basically just bug Danny Meeple all the time. That's kind of my role. Or I'm also the 22 extremist. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, that's. I'm always pushing 22.
Yeah.
For reasons. Part of it is a joke. Part of it because I enjoy it. Launchers. I'm really big into launchers. If anything we could get from this, I hope more guys, want to build some launchers because they're fun. And that's about it. Just another guy.
All right, man. So, one of the questions, I actually got questions for you, bro. Like people
Okay.
actually asked me to ask you questions. So
Oh
that's how
shit.
we're gonna start. We're
Oh
gonna start the
man.
show. We're gonna start a show with. I'm not lying.
That sounds dangerous.
I never do this. I never do this, but you
Oh.
got some fans out there, bro. That for real. I'm telling you, man. This community is it's cool, and sometimes we fan out, and I mean I think it's dope. All right, here it goes. Here it goes. Question number 1: How did you get into the the Danny Meatballs drum beta team?
Who asked that? Danny?
No, no, it wasn't him.
Oh.
No, Danny. No, this is somebody
um
else, bro.
that's a good question. Within Are We Cool Yet, usually you're typically, if you make it to the dev team, you're invited to anything. Somehow, me and Danny became good friends because when Danny first kind of joined, I didn't really know him very well, and then um, he has a room, and I actually tried to leave one day because I was like, well, like I said, a lot of 22 stuff, and Danny's like Glock mag guy, so I was like, well, I don't have anything to contribute here. Danny sucked me back in, so I'm stuck now at this point.
Yeah.
But that's part of why I make his life difficult because he forces me to, or at least he did. At this point, it's kind of like a mutual agreement. But yeah, that's kind of how the actual beta is. We're calling it a pseudo public beta, where if you want to participate, it's kind of open to the public as long as a member sponsors you into the beta, which I think is a great way to do it. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Danny. Then he's saying, if you could show us your drum and if it hangs a little bit to the left, a little bit lower
so
to the left, or
the drum, okay. And I told Danny this like 3 days ago. My area is a mess, but it's gone. I cannot find it. I have no clue where my drum is.
bro,
I
was it
have
like confiscated by the three-letter agencies,
the
bro? Like, it,
leprechauns, man. Like
damn.
somebody came in my house and took my drum. I'm not even kidding. This is all I have. I got this, which
Hmm.
if you know what that is, I'm not going to share any secrets, but well, I will. It's not working yet, but that's not a Glock magazine, is it?
No, is that a 22?
No, it's an XD magazine, but
Damn.
XD magazines are normally steel stamped.
Yeah.
So it's a work in progress, and I haven't been able to help Danny. I've been so busy with work that it's like. Sadly, I'm one of those guys that I spread myself too thin sometimes, and I'll
Yeah.
admit to it. Where I'm like, you get in all these betas, and people are like, "Oh yeah, build this," and you get really excited, and I'll get everything printed, and then it's like I almost have too many things on my plate that I don't finish any of them.
Uh-huh.
So like I finish them, but I need to just like buckle down. But yeah, I really don't know where my drum is. I could probably look for it for a minute and find it, but it was funny
Nah,
the other
bro.
day. I don't know where it is.
All right, all right.
I
So
don't
what I'm
have a
gonna
I
do?
don't have a gun right now that would shoot it anyways, because
Well, you lost them in a fishing accident, bro. Come
no
on.
dude, I'm not a fan of the Glocks. I know that's an unpopular opinion right there.
Bro, what? You're not part of the Glock gang?
Dude,
Come
I mean,
on.
they're all right. Like I understand the appeal and I understand why people like them, but it's kind of one of those things where for the price and versus
Hmm.
the value, I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I've never been a big handgun guy either, so that doesn't help.
Oh, that yeah, it's probably that, bro.
Out here
You,
it's all rifles and long range
yeah.
shooting, so it's like
You
I don't
guys
know.
actually shoot for necessity, not for fun.
I mean, it's still fun, but yeah, it's like
Nah.
I don't know. I've never been a big handgun guy. I just haven't.
Yeah. All right, man. So what I'm gonna do with you is I'm gonna ask you just certain questions like that I want to ask, and then I'll ask some other stuff that's written down. It's
Okay,
not a
yeah,
lot, but
just if I start rambling, just stop me because I do that from time to
all
time.
right,
So
for sure, for sure.
if I just
All
start going, then just let me know.
all right, man. I'll do this.
Yeah, deal,
All right, deal.
deal.
What was I gonna say? Okay, so how long have you been printing for, and how did you get into printing? Even if it wasn't nothing to do with 2A, just how did it happen?
This is actually a pretty good story. So, how I got into printing, I have been printing a super long time. Dogecoin, man. That's how
What?
I that's how I bought my first printer. It was with Dogecoin earnings. I'm not
What?
even
For reals, bro?
I'm not shitting you, dude. I
All
didn't
right,
make
you gotta.
very much. I wasn't
Yeah,
into
yeah.
it like super early, but I think I made like I got it in at probably like 10 cents and then sold it like 50 cents. I want to say I made like $500. And so I told my wife, I was like, I'd wanted one and I'd had one before, like in school way back when. I mean, totally different technology than it is now.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted one. And so I was like, well, I'm going to buy one with the money I made. So I bought one and I didn't really start printing guns probably for a few months after that.
Hey, Invader Sip is saying, "What is
Oh,
this?"
he finally showed up, man.
Yeah, he did, bro.
But yeah, I didn't really buy it to print guns. I just bought it, and when I was first doing that, that was probably it was right when I was in high school, like 7 years ago. It was right when Cody Wilson was doing like the first. He made that big video like we're 3D printing AR lower, so I'd seen it before, and I just never really thought about it. And then I think it was there was a Tic Tac gun on Thingiverse back probably last summer. It was huge. And the guy that made that, you go to his Instagram page and he was printing guns. And it's
Yeah.
like, and then I was like, man, they're printing Glocks now? Like, I never even really thought about that. So I kind of started looking. I was like, holy shit. Like, there's everything. And so
Hmm.
I started printing guns probably last summer, probably like last July, last August. I got into Arby Cool yet. I want to say very end of September last year. And then, yeah, that's kind of how it went.
Damn, bro. All right, bro. So I gotta ask you a question that
Oh,
was sent to you,
oh
and
no.
it's saying, "Yeah, Trout. Let's talk about your arc or the lack thereof."
So, did you know that I actually printed the very first arc? I did. The non-functioning, the shit line up arc, and it printed great.
So you did the flying rich arc or
No,
no?
like the very first completed step file that Invader Zip had.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
you know what, bro? I think you guys. I'm gonna say this, and because I come up with ideas all of a sudden. That's how I am sometimes.
yeah,
But you know all those files that you guys are creating, like the one you're talking about right now. That thing, bro, that thing needs to be an NFT or some type of that's gonna be a valuable. You guys think it's not right now, but things like that might grow in value, bro. Like,
yeah. That
uh,
I mean, I'm kind
it's
of
just
mixed on the NFT thing. I think,
yeah, I don't like NFTs, bro. I think they, you know what they remind me of? Remember, BitConnect?
yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. I think it's kind of a phase. I think it'll phase out. I mean, yeah, I don't know enough about it that I can really hate on it. You know,
Yeah,
so it's like can't talk about it that much. But yeah, anyways, back to the question. So,
yeah, let's go.
for the record, I do not have a functional arc, even though I was among the first two. So basically, it's Invader Zip's baby, but I
Hmm.
would be like the labor and delivery nurse that was there when it was born. I didn't do anything. Not that nurses aren't valuable. Just in case there's a nurse watching, they're like, "What the hell?" Nurses, I mean, they do stuff, but like I didn't do anything. I was just kind of there. Zip
You
did
didn't even
everything.
spank it and make it cry?
I I tried. He
Oh,
wouldn't
okay.
let me. I guess the 22 arc. That's probably my spanking it and made Zip cry. Um,
All right.
but I've never had one. You know, if you've ever heard of the art curse, it started with me. Um,
Oh, you're the legend of the Curse of the Ark, bro?
dude, I had it was crazy. I was having all sorts of issues. I've probably printed the original arc upper 10 times.
And
I have
Vader
one,
Step is saying,
I have one now.
Trout printed it before me.
Yeah,
That's
I did.
that's coming from the man himself.
But basically, I probably printed probably even more than that. I have one good one now that I have
Mhm.
locked away. And the day that I went to go finish my arc,
Yeah.
somehow, get this, dude. The files that I downloaded, like the release files that I downloaded like a month before that, they're corrupt. Like Art Curse is real, dude. There is something out there that does not want me to print the arc. So I was just
Nah,
kind of,
bro.
and I've been so busy with other stuff
Hey,
that
Joe. Hey,
he pushed it out so quick, dude.
you heard it here
What's it?
first.
I mean, well, I
It
threw them all
exists.
away. I even had one that was totally put together, and I was like, there were some weird gaps. I don't know. Yeah, don't. Zip's dragging me through the mud on that one, but it is
Oh
what it
man.
is. It's one of those things.
All right. So you've only been printing for damn for a year, bro. I guess you probably be I think you've been printing the same time as I've been printing actually. For reals. I think we've been printing about the same time.
Okay.
That's crazy, man. That's amazing. Okay, me and you were talking about something before we started, and I disappeared.
The
Uh,
cannon,
yeah, I still want to know about that, man. What's up with the cannon,
dude.
man?
I'm not. I'm not positive. To be honest, I could find out. I want to say so. There was kind of some internal bullshit that went down. Um, And the guy that was doing the canning, he couldn't really find any beta testers.
Oh
Like
man.
he announced it and everybody was super excited for it, but I think it
Yeah.
was something that actually required a lot of work. And that's part of the reason why all these guys love printing Glocks. They're easy. Like I mean, you can assemble a printed Glock in like 20 minutes once it's printed, if you've done it
Yeah.
before. Like if that, I could probably put it together quicker than that. Like, and I've only assembled maybe two of them. And so
Correct.
I think that's what it was. Is I think there was more work involved than most people like. So he just couldn't find beta testers. I want to say that he actually, excuse me, I
Hmm.
want to say he might have released it on Thingiverse. The dev's name is Handy Dandy. I think he kind of released it. I'm not positive. I can find out because I know it's not in our Wikilia release and it's not actively in dev anymore.
Yeah.
I want to say that was kind of what he wanted to do with it. I don't know if it ever happened. So,
Damn, man. I rode for that thing so hard when I saw it. I remember they posted it on, I think, Twitter, and I
yeah.
made like this whole thing with like SpongeBob and pirate music and throwing my money away. That I
Let me look real quick, see if I can find that.
what was it all like PLA, man, or no?
But I think that was the thing. I think you had to weld. You actually had to do some welding,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's what kind of got people.
Uh, they're saying that he retired from Deb.
Yeah, he retired.
Do Dogenado.
Yep.
Dogenado.
So I don't know. I want to say he released it somewhere before he said I'm done. I know that
All
was
right.
what he said, but
Mm-hmm.
I just looked at Thingiverse. My Thingiverse isn't working quite right, so it might be on there. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I'm sure
Could
we
it
could
be?
find, if you're really that interested, I'm sure we could find the files for you.
No, man. I really just was like curious because that thing looked like it went hard because he was testing it for a while, right? He had like his version, I guess, probably. I don't know.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. All right, man. Let me ask you another question from the
Okay.
book. How did you join AWCY?
Um, so the real way to join AWCY, what it kind of requires, and I think the process itself is a little flawed. Just, I mean, it's a learning process, just like everything else. I like the way the sponsorship program works, and it makes sure that, because the biggest thing, I mean, you'd almost have to start from the beginning, which I don't want to do, especially because I wasn't there. I just have stuff passed down to me. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, you got to show up. You got to prove that you want to be there. You're not just like going to grab the files and dip, because that's a huge thing within this community. Is there's a lot of people, like, we don't ask that you be on 24/7, but like if you're actively testing. And so like for me, it was actually the Thump and Grind, which is a 37 millimeter launcher. Like that's kind of the room I got noticed in the most,
Mm-hmm.
because I was actively in it. I was showing off my shit that I was working on. I was showing off. I was actively talking to people, and that's kind of how you get noticed. But yeah, that's it. BitPlum sponsored me in. He's another launcher head. I wish I would. There needs to be more launcher heads out there, in my opinion, because it's freaking fun. But
Hey, that thump and grind thing is that magnet thing, right?
no, the Thump and Grind is like a launch
The launcher. What's
flare launcher.
the magnet one? You did that one, right? You
Oh,
did
the
the
one I made, the Grippener.
yeah, great grip. Yeah. So how
Yeah,
did you come up with that?
I totally stole it from a company that makes them.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're everywhere. You can buy them like on AliExpress or Wish, or there's companies in the U.S. that make them.
And then you're
And
like,
I was just kind of
mine.
like, for me, so back when I was in high school, I learned SolidWorks and I was pretty damn good at it. But that was 7 or 8 years ago. And I do 2D CAD for work, but no 3D. So I kind of lost it all. So it was kind of one of those things I was like, well, this will be a good thing for me to practice with and do. And I don't think there's any out there, So it didn't take me long to do it. But yeah, it's not an original idea. So it was kind of, and that's one of the big flaws with the community, I think, is there's not as many accessories out there as there should be. And the
Yeah.
ones that are, they're not organized well. Like they're on Thingiverse or Colts or wherever else, which is great. They don't need to be on Odyssey or within a can't think of the word, within a collection of other stuff is where
Yeah.
they should be. Because if they're independently on Thingiverse and they're just some random person made it, it's pretty hard to find.
Yeah, man. I've gone on Thingiverse looking for something else, and then I find something else, and I'm like, "How did I get here?"
Like I
But
almost guarantee
yeah,
you somebody
crazy.
else made one of those and it's on Thingiverse somewhere. I'd be willing to bet money on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a super original idea. I was just kind of like, well, this will be fun, and you got to have somewhere to put all your guns. Like I have a grip and rep. Well, I can't probably show it on here, huh? But like, there's one right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. You could show it as long as you're not holding the, you know,
Well,
in
yeah,
your hand.
there's one attached to it.
Okay.
I
No,
could
it's
show
no, it's okay. You could actually show it.
here.
Yeah, as long as you don't touch it with your hands, I guess.
You see
Oh,
that?
okay.
Like, and that's my everyday carry. So
Yeah.
it's not like I'm gonna use it because it even
Mhm.
has a holster, like a trigger guard on there. But it just makes it nice. It's there, and I'm like, oh, I'm going out the door. I can just grab it.
Yeah.
So I have like one out of my shop. I like them because you can also make them for people. A lot of the things we do in this community, you can't make stuff for people because you can't. I mean, I guess you can, but you're a felon at that point. You
Yeah.
can't be printing people lowers. But I'm like, but who wants a cool little magnet holder? Everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
That's
I
true.
printed one for my buddy just the other day because I can't. I don't know.
And if something gets stuck to the magnet while you're giving it to your buddy, that's the magnet's fault.
Yeah, exactly.
No, man. But okay, man. So let's go. We got that. We got that. Um, okay. So as we know, you've been in a couple of betas, right? What's your probably like your all-time favorite beta that you've participated in?
Gat Lattle,
That one?
100%. The arrow shooting 22, yeah.
I seen it.
It
Yeah,
was.
now that you talk about it, I seen it.
I want to say I was the third person to actually make one.
Yeah.
And then I made, well, it's a joke. My alternate personality made the arrowheads for it.
Yeah.
And so,
Sorry about that.
oh, you're good. So for a while there, once I printed those, I was like super into it. I probably went out 3 or 4 weekends in a row messing with these exploding arrowheads.
Hey, hold on, bro.
Oh, you're good.
I'll be back real quick.
Okay. Well, I'll field if anybody watching has any questions, I'll answer them. Hit me up. Otherwise, I'm going to read.
All right, man. Sorry about that. My dog was tripping out, I guess.
Oh, you're good. I know how it goes.
All right. So the beta, you said the get. What is it?
Well, the Gat Lattle is what it's called. I call
Yeah.
it the Zero or Zero because that's
Mm-hmm.
what he originally named it, and I gave him crap for it because he changed it to the Gat Lattle, and I was like, no, it's the Zero, forever and always.
And what is what? Oh, they got out, bro. Damn.
No, that was my wife creeping through the background.
I
You
was
can
like,
hear her
what?
laughing.
Yeah. Okay. And what about what's the worst one? Like one of the ones that you're like, damn, I shouldn't have even said yes to this.
Ooh, I mean, it's hard to say because it's everything is just voluntary with our Wikilia. That's kind of the beauty, and that's kind of why sometimes people get honest. They're like, "Man, this hasn't been released yet. Why hasn't this been released?" And it's like, well, there's a lot going on, and we're not the guys that are testing things. It's all voluntary, and it's our own money. Um, I mean, the worst one would be the Ark. I hate to say it, man. I
the
love the
the
Ark.
curse
I
of
love
the
the
art.
Ark, but there's a reason why I have not taken the time to be like, okay, I'm gonna finish one because it's a night. Like, I'm not kidding. Probably 15 different uppers I printed. One of them was actually to the level where I'd shoot it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Like, same exact printer right before I print something else, be freaking perfect. And I print the
that's
Ark, and it's like layer shift.
that's amazing, man. You
It's
know, everybody's been posting about the arc lately, right? So
yeah.
the more I've been seeing it, the more I wanted to print it because with all the stuff that you guys drop, right? You guys have a bunch of different type of stuff that you could build and make, and different type of barrels, and it's just it when you guys drop stuff, when uh AWCY drops stuff, you guys go all out. So the more I keep looking into the art, and I'm like, man, I want to do one. And then I have people telling me, oh, you could add this, you could add that. And then I'm like, man, but if I really if I'm a type of person that when I print something, I'm gonna print it, and then I'm gonna want to print the other version, and then the other version, and I'm just gonna go inside this rabbit hole where I don't know if I'm gonna come back sane.
You're gonna have to print every version of the Ark there is. Yeah.
Correct.
Well, and so the original plan for the Ark was I'm going to take a second and tell you the story because it's funny. I think Zip's told it before.
All
So
right.
original plan for the Ark, Zip was kind of a nobody. I mean, he was somebody, but like nobody really knew who he was. And me and him were somehow talking one day, and we were like, he's like, man, I have this idea. Do you want to help me with it? And I'm like, yeah. It wasn't the Ark. It was something. Have you ever heard of like the Arrow survival rifle?
Is
Probably
it like that's like a 22, or like the
no.
AR
It's
one,
no,
or
so it's a 9 millimeter. There's a company. I want to say the company's name is like TNW Tactical, but they
uh-huh.
make a rifle. You could go buy. They're like $800. Arrow survival rifle. It's just
Yeah.
a 9 millimeter carbine, same as how kind of like the Scorpion operates and FGC 9. It's a blowback 9 millimeter bolt. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
tons of them, right? And so he was like, let's do this. I was like, okay, I'll help you. He had the prints for it because they sold like an 80%er.
Oh,
So
okay.
he got the prints for it, and we start piecing it out on their website. I even ordered parts, and we realized like to build it, it was going to be like $600, and you can
Damn.
buy the rifle for $700. So we're like, dude,
Yeah.
we can't do this. Um, we're like, this isn't going to work. Like that's outrageous for what it is. Nobody's going to build it. So we kind of got talking. He's like, man, I think we need to do blowback. And it was kind of my idea. I mean, it was both of our ideas to do like a 9 millimeter, but I was like, dude, I think 9 millimeter ARs operate blowback. I was like, why couldn't we just do that?
Yeah.
And from there, it was like overnight. I wake up and he has like the rough cat done. I'm not kidding. Like the next day, I'm like, what the hell? So the original plan was to have a working model by Maker's Match. Okay, this dude released before the end of the year because he just pushed it through, and then he released his updated package. I want to say before Maker's Match. Like Zip's just a madman.
Damn. Yeah, I know people like that, man. It's crazy.
And it's awesome. It's an awesome build. I mean, I have all the parts to build two of them. Actually, I really need to go and finish one. But like I
Yeah.
said, I have so many 90% complete builds done right now that I kind of just need to make a list and say like every week try to finish one
Mm-hmm.
because that's where I'm at. Like, you know, we're working on the Set Me 27.7. That's when the people were like, when's it going to be released? And I was one of the beta testers for it, and it's all printed, and I've done all the hard stuff. I just
Yeah.
need to take like 2 hours and put it together. I don't know. I'm on here talking to you instead of building my set me. So
Oh man, come on, blame it on me.
it's your fault now that it's not released.
No, it's my fault. Okay, man. Let's see. So what do you use for CAD? Do you use Fusion 360?
Oh, I'm kind of in between. I like SolidWorks.
You like
I
SolidWorks?
Yeah, Fusion's great, but if you've learned SolidWorks or Inventor, like the step up programs, it's kind of hard to use Fusion
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes it does things that are weird. Like I don't know how else to explain it. It does weird things that I don't like. Yet, but SolidWorks also has issues with their licensing that I can't even have it on two separate computers,
Yeah.
which I have, and so it's just bullshit unless I want to go pirate it. So I kind of jump around a little bit. Um, I use both. Probably I prefer SolidWorks, but I'm okay with Fusion. I'm not great with either. I'm
Okay,
kind of
so for people that are just starting, right? Because that's who we kind of cater to, people that are starting to print, people
yeah
that
yeah.
are getting into, you know, this whole realm. What would you recommend them to start with if you
I'd
could
probably
do it all
say
over again?
I'd probably say Fusion for what we do.
Hmm.
And it's designed with 3D printing in mind. And the way that assemblies work in Fusion, I think, is easier for assembling guns because in Fusion you can assemble your entire gun. It's almost like as you draw, it builds upon itself. Where in SolidWorks, you're supposed to make the part and put it into an assembly. And
Yeah.
granted, you can edit parts that are in the assembly. It's just, but Fusion, I think, like for example, the arc, the way it all draws out in Fusion, it's definitely easier to manage the actual assembly if you're doing like a 10-part assembly in my eyes. So I would say Fusion, especially because it's free, it's easy. Like if you haven't learned anything, I know you were talking to Push and PLA earlier. Do
Yeah.
not use Tinkercad. Don't. Just don't even. So Tinkercad. I hope he's watching this. But Tinkercad is harder to use than Fusion. I promise you. Like I
Oh
opened up
shit.
Tinkercad, I'm like, what the hell is going on? This makes no sense.
Yeah, it's
Like
like you have to follow their little course in order for you to do
yeah, it's
something,
weird.
right? I
Like
tried it last night because I also, he told me that, and I went and I let I print shit know, like, hey man, like I guess he says what files because he's using Tinkercad, right?
yeah.
Which I mean, everybody starts somewhere, right? I tried FreeCAD for a while and I hated it too, but I mean, for the work he's doing, I was like, damn, he's doing he's doing work on this, on Tinkercad, man.
I really think Tinkercad's harder to do. Like I've opened it up a couple times, and every single time I open it up, and like I said, I'm not great at CAD. I'm not gonna say that, but I have
Mhm.
used a lot of different CAD programs, like basic level of a lot of different programs from
Yeah.
Inventor, SolidWorks, Solid Edge, Fusion. I do a lot of 2D stuff, and Tinkercad is not intuitive at all. Like, I've used a lot of them from like really good ones to really bad ones.
Mhm.
And Tinkercad's like reading a book in Portuguese. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not even kidding. I open it up. I'm like, I don't even know where to start. So I don't know how they do it.
All right, man. I'm gonna read something from Danny.
Uh-oh.
You ready? Danny Meatball says, "Bro, one more component in the arc step, and even Skynet will give up."
He's not wrong. That if you ever open up that step, dude, it's like I want to say it took me like 3 minutes, and I have a pretty decent PC. So
Oh shit. Damn, bro.
It's got, well, it has every variation of the barrel lengths, which for every like half-inch barrel length, there's a different handguard length,
Hmm.
and like multiple lower options. It's just, it's insane.
Vader Sip is very technical when it comes to his stuff, right? It's
Oh yeah,
amazing,
and I mean, he's a good friend.
man. Hmm.
He's probably mad at me that I haven't finished an arc, at least on some level. But it's one of those things. I have every intention of doing it, but every single time I try, it has issues.
It's the
So
curse, man. It's the curse. It exists. It's
yeah,
real.
it does. Well, I think
Uh,
I what the real issue is that it's a 9 millimeter. Um, because 9 millimeter is not where it's at. I like to give those guys crap. It's all about the 22, man.
the 22. I love 22s. I don't know why people shit on 22s.
So here, real quick, let's talk about 22s. I'm gonna
Let's
get this
go.
spill out there.
Let's
So
go.
everybody wants to talk about like the FGC 9 or whatever else, right? Which is
Yeah.
great.
Hmm.
But if I had to choose a round as like a survival round, I would choose 22 over 9 millimeter every single day for a couple reasons. Number
Okay.
one,
Shoot.
so neither one of them is going to pierce plates, right? So if you're fighting off the military or cops, sorry, like
Yeah.
for that fact, it doesn't matter whether it's 22 or 9. You're not going to kill them with chest,
Yeah.
right? Because it
Yep.
won't pierce plates. So it's
Nah.
like, it's quieter. You can carry more ammo. Like, let's say it's a survival situation, you got to go up in the mountains. You can
Yeah.
carry more ammo, less weight. It's also easier because the actual forces involved. Like, I'm a big fan of it. I've been shooting Ruger 1022s for forever,
Hmm.
and it's we're actually well. I'm I'm working on a totally DIY 1022. Um,
Yeah. Damn.
kind of. It's
Is
it's
it
out.
like a 1022 or?
It's yeah 1022. Well,
Okay. Okay.
the hard thing there's a couple hard aspects to it, but you can also the hard thing with that is priming, right? That's the issue with rimfire and reloading. But you can
Hmm.
actually make brass 22 brass fairly easily with like dies. Like, dude, you can look up videos. They're making them in I don't know, like European or Asian countries. It's, I mean, you think of how it works. It just sizes it down and then pushes out your flange. So, like, as far as a DIY, I honestly think it'd be better.
I mean, and then if you think about it,
So,
if it's all right, man. If you think about it, right? Uh, you could go to like Home Depot, right, and get the primers.
yeah,
So if you're in a place that for some reason you can't get, those primers from Home Depot, they're Winchester, bro.
yeah, they are. Well, and
That
like, you can make them. So that's the big thing I have is like, okay, let's say apocalypse. Obviously,
Yeah.
worst case scenario. At 22, like, yeah, you can't re-prime, you can't reload, and that's what a lot of other people say. Well, you could reload it, and it's like, okay, well, if you can find primers, you'll be able to find ammo too. You won't have to reload it. Like in a
Yeah.
situation like that, maybe in Europe it's a little different. And to be honest, this unpopular opinion again, I don't care. That's not the reason why I want to do a DIY 1022 is so
Hmm.
that people in Europe can have it to feel like they're fighting gun control. Because I mean, I care a little bit, but at the same time, I don't like if your government's a tyrant. That's not necessarily my problem. Like I want to help you out, but I'm not going to baby you.
Yeah. No, I know what you
Like
mean.
you can move.
Yeah. I mean, let's say it like this, right? What happened today with the U.S., right? They're pushing those laws, right?
Mhm.
But yet, look at what's happening in Ukraine. It doesn't make sense because
But
now they're you know
you see, like all the laws they're pushing today, they're all a farce. they didn't really do anything. So they're gonna hurt P80 kits,
Yep.
which yeah, that sucks. From my perspective, like yeah, I don't think it should be infringed upon, but I don't care because I don't build P80 clocks, and I have no desire to. So I'm like, well, I'm against it, but it's not going to change my life. So I mean, like I'm still against it, but I think a lot of it. I mean, I don't want to dive into politics, but a lot of it is. I think they use guns and gun control to divide us. I don't think they actually have any plans on really trying to push for real gun control. What they do is it's all smoke and mirrors. So Joe Biden's like, we need to ban high capacity magazines. We need to ban ARs because you have two people. You have people on the left or wherever, that they're told they don't know about guns. They're told they're mass murdering machines. And you know what? I don't want mass murdering machines in my kid's school either. I don't. Like, who in their right mind would be like, well, if all guns are good for us killing all these people, why would we want them?
Yeah.
And that's what they're told. And then on the other side, you have people that really care, that will die for their gun rights. So what it does is divides us. And with that division, they grow more powerful. Whoever it is, that's how government works, man. That's how everything
don't understand
works.
that. People don't understand that everything's about division and having us fight. That's why sometimes social media is so weird because if you notice, people start posting things and then nobody ever made anything about race or color till that person that brought it up
Yeah.
because you know I
Well,
don't
and
want to.
that's why I really
Yeah.
don't like Twitter. We were talking about
Okay,
that
let's
a
talk
little bit
about
earlier.
Twitter. Let's talk about Twitter
Let's talk
since
about
you brought
Twitter.
it up. Everybody says Twitter is toxic. The word in the street is Twitter is evil. Twitter is used to bully on people, and Twitter is toxic. Why do you believe that Twitter is bad, especially for our community as a whole?
Oh man, I gotta
Come
watch
on,
what I
man.
say here. You just opened a can of worms. So Twitter as a whole. So I was in high school when Twitter was a thing.
Yeah.
I actually had a fake Twitter account made of me that posted some freaking wrong
Toxic
things
shit.
like terrible things for a freaking 17-year-old to have to be dealing with.
Hold on. Let's read something real quick. I wonder if there's a baby trout. Do 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 do.
There's not.
Danny
There's,
Meatball.
there's two dogs, but that's it.
All right,
But
man. Sorry about that.
no, you're
Go
good.
ahead.
So back then, it was toxic then, it's toxic now. The thing with like humankind, if you look at it, is look at like anytime there's a riot. Okay. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is with humans, but
Hmm.
we love to jump into a mob. Like it's crazy. We love to group up and follow people and group up and it feels like we have power. And Twitter basically just feeds off of a mob mentality. You know
No,
what I mean?
correct.
You
Hmm.
don't have to have good content to be rewarded on Twitter. You just have to have the right people retweeting your shit that gets more retweets, and that's other people that just want to be part of the mob that then get on there and they cause shit. Like,
Yeah.
there's so I got on Twitter end of last year because Zip was on it, and I was like, well, Twitter's probably like there's a lot going on Twitter, and it was just a bunch of bullshit. So I deleted it because I was like, it's not bringing any. And it was just I'm not gaining anything from it. I think as a community, I think is the audio okay? I'm kind of hearing it. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
Okay? It might have just been
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
with my
You're good.
internet, but I think the issues with Twitter and the community.
Hmm.
I don't think it's just Twitter. I think Twitter enables it because of, like I said, the mob mentality. Is that
Correct.
there's people that have been in the hobby for years.
Hmm.
Okay, and those people, not everybody, but some of those people want to speak for everybody. They want to be the voice of GunCat. There's a lot of them. Like, I mean, I'm not going to go name names, but it's not harder to figure out who. Within all different groups, within all different walks of life, there's people that wish that they were the speaker of GunCat. And so what happens is people say these things, or they want to speak for everybody, which, I mean, you don't speak for me,
No.
right? I don't speak for you. You can have your opinions. I can have my opinions. We're, at the end of the day, we're just two dudes on the internet. We're probably both nerds. Like, we're both gun nerds. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to disagree on stuff. We don't have to all agree on everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's, the community as a whole, I think would be better off without it.
I
Because
mean,
I still have Twitter drama dragged into my life that doesn't need to be, like, because of Are We Cool Yet? And I mean,
yeah.
you know what I'm talking about. It wasn't very long ago. There was a bunch of bullshit that I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, well,
Why do you guys?
you know what? I mean, that's the crazy part, that I didn't even know what all that was about, because I got invited to the John Crump show, and I was happy because I was gonna promote my podcast and I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
promote everything, right? So then all of a sudden, all this stuff starts happening, and I'm just sitting there like, what the hell is this? I found out about it till I interviewed Come Out in PLA, and he kind of gave me a rundown. Like he's kind of
Yeah,
explained it
yeah.
to me.
And I listened to that real quick. I mean,
Mhm.
I want to set the record straight,
All right.
just for the Are We Cool Yet guys. I mean, there's things that Are We Cool Yet members have said that I don't agree with. Whatever, you want to hate on them, that's fine. But what a lot of people don't realize, the start of Are We Cool Yet was
Mhm.
because guys over at DD2 just started kicking people.
Like just hey, you're
Anybody that
done.
disagreed with them. And I wasn't there. So I'm talking from what I've been told.
Yeah, yeah. You're
But I've never
talking.
been told I'm wrong, even by other guys. And so that's kind of where there's some misconception, is people want to hate on Are We Cool Yet? And I'm like, well, like, it's a beast of your own causing,
Yeah.
with, like, because somebody disagrees with you, you're just gonna kick them out of the community. And that's part of why Are We Cool Yet? If you do something wrong, it's a process to get kicked out. I think there's only ever been 3 people kicked out of Are We Cool Yet? And it was for decent reasons. Like, it's not easy to get kicked out of Are We Cool Yet?
Yeah.
So because of that, because the whole basis of why it was built is because people were getting kicked out of a hobby they loved because somebody disagreed with them. And
Yeah.
that's not right. Like,
Nah.
There's this big divide here, and I hate the divide just as much as everybody else, but 99% of us don't give a flying fuck. It's the other 1% that still have grudges from 3 years ago, which I get that. I get that you're not going to get over it. But that's, and it's a bunch of people on the internet. Like, we're not going to agree on everything ever.
I think that's a big issue that we have, is that the internet gives you a certain type of protection and power, that you feel that you're never going to run into that person, or you're never going to see that person, so there's no you're not going to have no like there's not going to
Yeah,
be,
yeah. Nobody's
you know
going
what
to
I
come
mean?
punch your jaw because you said something to them. Yeah,
Exactly, right? So you feel like, oh, Mr. Unstoppable, because I'm not gonna run into you, bro. But you don't know how life works. And life just might work in a mysterious way where you get a layover someday in this place, and then somebody you run into, and this guy, like we say, you don't want to test somebody's gangster, because that's when you know how gangster
yeah.
somebody is.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I just don't like all the negativity that
Yeah.
sometimes is in the hobby. And I've contributed to it. I'm not going to say that I'm innocent. Like, I'm not going to pretend I am. Over the
Mhm.
last couple of months, I've definitely tried to take an outlook like, okay, why is this a big deal to me? Or what battles do I actually want to fight?
If I'm
Um,
laughing, is because of what Sip wrote. He says, "Are we children yet?
yeah, Zip doesn't
Are we controlled opposition yet?"
Zip doesn't like to participate in the drama.
Yeah, man.
Well, I don't like to participate in the drama, but
Mhm.
somehow I always am. So I must like it to an extent. I don't know.
I think we all enjoy a little bit of
Yeah,
You know what that
exactly.
is? Pot stirring, right?
And I think
Uh,
it's good.
no,
Like
yeah,
I
okay, look, this is my belief personally. Like, this is what I think. This is my personal opinion, and if you don't like it, oh well, don't talk to me. I don't know, but I'm just saying, having a little bit of competition, having a little bit of tough love,
Mhm.
helps people.
Oh, it
Because
does.
that it helps us grow our character. It helps us grow who we are, and it makes us try to be better. Because what happened is that they started saying, well, you get a reward because you participated, and you get a reward because you sat down and you didn't move, and you get a reward, and he gets a reward, and we all get rewards. Yeah, but it's not about getting rewarded. It's what you're putting into this community, what you're doing to make it better, what you're doing to try to give a good spotlight and have other people and get to know each other, just like we're
Yeah.
doing here. Like, never in a thousand years would I ever think that I would sit here, talk to you, that I would have Invader Sip on this stream, that I would have Danny Meatballs, the magician, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
People like this, man, and we're all having a adult conversation. We're giving each other our flowers and our praises while we're still alive. People forget that you got to tell people how you feel about them at this moment. Praise them and tell them, man, what you're doing is amazing. I'm gonna say this, Danny. I'm sorry. I
Uh-oh.
know it was supposed to be for you know what it was, but I told Danny, thank you, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have certain things that I have because of where I'm at. I'm in California, bro. I
Yeah.
can't have certain things in this state. We all know that. But Danny, I know it sounds corny, but it's respect, man. I told him, you are keeping us free one mag at a time, one drum at a time. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
everybody that's participating. And what we said too is, shout out to the beta team, because people don't know that these beta people are spending their money on filament, on a lot of filament, a lot of mistakes. And are we California yet? So you know what I mean? People need to understand that this community, it has to be competition. We have to uh, have an understanding of each other, respect each other, and move on and be men.
Yeah,
That's I mean, that's my
I
opinion.
think there needs to be competition. I think the name dragging, like dragging through the people through the mud,
Hmm.
um, not a big fan of that, and it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like like King Cobra. Okay, I mean I don't know how much you know about that.
Nah, I don't
King
know about.
Cobra, right? Darwood and Mussy. Dude, they got ripped on for not being Foss and because the magnets or whatever. And I
Hmm.
have one. I just like everything else, it needs like 2 hours worth of love and it'll be operational.
Yeah.
But like I have one. I got no issue buying it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's an amazing design, but people drag them through the mud on Twitter or whatever else because it's not Foss or whatever because he's selling the bolts. And I'm like, those guys, Mussy and Darwood, have done a shit ton for the community. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people. There's a lot of big guys within GunCat that a lot of people don't even know about. Like, for instance, you ever heard of Lulz Goat?
Nah, not
Yeah,
at all, bro.
exactly. Nobody has. Dude's a freaking mad genius. Like, the Arbiculia P90, he's the guy that came up with the technology for the bolt. He's working on some crazy stuff. I know he's done stuff in the past, but just because he doesn't want to be the social media presence doesn't mean he has to be.
No.
You
Mm-mm.
know what I mean? Dude's an OG, but a lot of people don't even know who he is
And
because
see,
it's
and
this
that's
popularity thing.
yeah, and that's where I think it's wrong. I've always been against a certain type of uh, like you said, popularity type of stuff, because I grew up in a type of environment where uh people would get killed, bro, because somebody came over here and kissed ass and just had the right pool and went and said something about a person that has been real like genuine type of person, but because politics, this person is bringing this person a little bit of money or something. I kind of
Oh
think
yeah.
what I'm talking about. Now this person goes and gets killed for favoritism type of shit. I don't agree with that. I think everybody should be given their opportunity to prove themselves and show their worth. And once you know, okay, this guy has done so much for the community or whatever, let him. Thank you, man. And I think that's why I started what I'm doing at this moment, because I want to get to know the people that nobody knows. I mean,
Yeah.
we're all different. I could show you so much shit on my page, and I probably could be like, well, I've never printed anything, but I just, I mean, what happened a couple days back where that guy was going around stealing people's profile pic, trying to get followers and trying to sell auto sears and all this crap,
Yeah. See,
pretending
I
to
don't
be.
even know about that.
Oh yeah, bro, we dropped that. So shameless plug. If you guys don't know the story about the Fed boy, check it out. We talk shit. Sabar Prince. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
guy. Yeah,
missed
I
that
guess
one.
he stole the general's picture, and then the homie I print shit, the guy that's doing the Glocknoski, he stole his picture too and was using it, saying that it was him, and following people like us trying to get
Oh,
connections on P80s, because I guess he was kind of like doing credit card scamming stuff. So I mean, look, the reason I got caught early was because a lot of us realized, like, wait a minute, the general wouldn't have done be selling auto sears and the sauce, which was, I guess, fake credit card numbers.
yeah, yeah,
So I mean, if we don't get to look, this is what I tell a lot of people I've interviewed when we talk one on one. I tell them, at the end of the day, the only ones that could destroy the community and what you guys have built, and the prior people before us that might not even know, bro, but deserve the flowers because they probably put in more work than us, and they started when shit was expensive. Now the
yeah,
prices have gone down, but these people that were engineers, bro, like mad geniuses, like you're saying, that don't want to at least give them respect, but we need to understand who we are and who's the community as a whole, because at the end of the day we're going to end up being the only ones that destroy the community from within.
yeah. And I don't think it's going to be destroyed. I think there's going to be bad blood. There's going to be different opinions. The best thing, like the reason why you haven't heard of maybe Goat or some of these other people, is it's pretty easy just to ignore it.
Yeah.
And if you ignore it, if you try to ignore it, I mean, it's hard if you're like me, where you're trying to socialize, you're trying to be friends with everybody,
Hmm.
or like you, even worse, like you've got a broad base of people you talk to. Um, it's hard because you get all these things and you say, oh well, I don't want to, this guy doesn't want to deal with this guy because this guy is already cool yet and this guy's DD2 and there's bad blood. It's like, well, most
Yeah.
most people don't care,
Hmm.
to be
No, that's
honest.
facts.
Like, the people are going to do things the way they want to do things no matter what. That's just life.
Yeah. and
So
um and I think you answered one of the questions that I was going to ask you, bro.
okay.
And that's uh uh, pretty much, what do you think that the community needs to do in order for the community to grow and keep thriving? What do you feel like we need more of?
We need to stop building Glocks.
We need and move from 9 millimeters to 22, bro.
Like, dude. I mean, like, okay, I'll be straight up. I really like Ralph. Okay, I
Yeah.
had a couple interactions with him. He had some bad interactions with Are We Cool Yet? I don't know. I don't think it's a secret.
Who, P80 Ralph?
So I
Yeah,
mean,
he's
I don't want
chill.
I
I
don't
don't
want
know.
to dive into it. I think there's some bad blood, but I always like the guy. I really
Yeah.
like the guy. I like what he's doing. I
Yeah,
like that
he's
he's
dope.
putting this thing. But man, I cannot sit through his streams because, well, I think I've heard it's gotten better, but
Uh-huh.
it's like 90% Glock builds, and I'm just like, man, I was like,
Bro,
wow, you paid $400 for a slide. That makes you better than me. Like,
no, but okay, look, but I'm gonna say something, right? Because I have to.
Yeah, yeah,
A lot of us get got into 3D building because of Glocks. Okay,
yeah. I
so
know. I know.
I've never owned a Glock in my life, never. I've owned a lot of P80s, right? Because that's probably what I got into because I was like you. At the beginning, I hated Glocks, bro. Like if I was gonna buy something, it was probably gonna be a CZ, you know,
Mhm.
or something different, but not a Glock. I never wanted a Glock, but then when I learned about P80s, I'm like, oh well, this is like a Glock, but the shape, it feels a little bit better, right? They had the Picatinny rails on
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
them didn't. The thing with Glock is that it's so compatible, like all the 3D prints builds are for Glocks, so you could interchange the parts. That's what got me into 3D printing. That and JSD Supply because JSD Supply started posting stuff. But I mean, I understand where you're coming from because, like you said, um, okay. Let me ask you this question: growing up, how did you get into 2A, like the 2A community?
Dude, I was
How was
shooting
it?
guns. I was shooting guns since I could walk. Whole life. I mean, I was shooting BB guns from the time I could walk to probably shooting 22s and shotguns. Like 20 gauge, probably like 6 years old.
Hmm.
Um, Hunting, fishing. Just, I mean, I grew up with it.
Damn, that's you
Yeah,
look.
so it's been in my life, and that's not the case for everybody. It's been in my life, and that's probably part of why I like handguns. You know, we had handguns and we go shoot them, but I really enjoyed shooting shotguns, and I think the value of a shotgun over a handgun is higher. Like if
Yeah.
somebody broke into my house, I'm not gonna grab my handgun, dude. They're getting shot with a shotgun because there's no question. It's
Yeah, I
done.
hear.
There's no miss. Like somebody tries to come up my stairs, I'm not gonna miss. No matter where I hit, something's gone, and it was
No
very
matter where something's
yeah.
gone.
Yeah, like even if I miss, like you're not gonna have a leg or something. Like
Yeah, you're right.
it's and I learned that from a very early age because I was shooting shotguns. I bet I was shooting clay pigeons probably about 6 to 8 years old, somewhere in there. Um, and I was like, well, they're not bad. And my dad, he taught me an important lesson. We were shooting there one day, and he's like, you don't think it's bad? And don't give him a ticket because he shot a tree. But he takes this 12 gauge and he shoots this branch off this tree, dude. Just freaking boom. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, I
Damn.
was like, I kind of knew that, but when you shoot it like that, you kind of see it. You're like, okay, you're like, yeah, this is where it's
Um,
at, close
At-
range,
Atticus says Glocks are the gateway drug, and they
and they
are.
are.
They
Real
are.
quick, can we go back to that a little bit? With you
Yeah, go
asked
ahead.
me where I think the community goes, and
Yes,
with
correct.
clocks.
No, I didn't. Okay,
Well,
go
because
ahead.
I said we need to print less clocks, right?
Yeah, yeah, go.
Going back to that, okay,
Hmm.
I'm cool with people making money. I got
Yeah,
no issue. I love money.
yeah.
Everybody loves money. Like,
Hmm.
I'm a business owner. I don't do anything 2A related, but like, I get the hustle. I understand that there's too many people doing stuff for money in this community. So like, that's part of the reason I have issues with clocks, man, is you got to spend 70, $80 for your rails on top of your kit. Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I hate to say it because I got respect for the guys selling rails. They're
Hmm.
ripping you off. I'm a metal worker, dude.
I
They're
mean,
upcharging you to fucking
okay.
hell.
Yeah,
Like
you're
they
right.
should make money. They should
Yeah,
make
no, you're
money.
right.
There's no point
Right.
doing it if you're not going to make money. I agree. However,
You shouldn't over. I think as long as you're making double or at least look, this is my opinion, man. As long as you're, I've always thought like this. To be honest, as long as you're making at least what you paid for the part and something extra for you, it should be fine. But I know where you're going with this.
like,
People are quadruply. Yeah, I
and
know.
and and they're not the worst case. They're not even like people that I have in mind when I say this. That's why Arbiculia's going to release their XD beta here any day. I'm not sure what we're waiting on. I'm not the dev. I'm in close ties with him. It's like it's right there. I don't know. I think he's working up the guide and maybe a release video, and that's kind of it. It's going to release, and I really like that because the hard thing is Glocks you could buy parts for anywhere. Where the
Yeah,
XDs you have to kind of pick up like an XD kit
yeah,
that
yeah.
was a criminal had, and they bust it up, and you buy the parts, right?
You
But if you buy the kit,
eBay.
you don't have to buy any rails. Like you buy the kit from Gunbroker or wherever, eBay, and
Yeah,
that's it because the
that's
rails are built into it. So I really like the XDs for that reason. The Glocks are better because the printed mag options, where the XD, like I showed you, the drum
yeah.
topper, it might work, but it'll be a single stack and it'll only work with the drum. Like you can't. Well, here's the normal XD mag right here.
Let me
Actually,
see.
like we
Mhm.
can't print that the
No.
way it's made. So that's definitely where I think Glocks have an upper hand.
Mhm.
Um, but there's also people that the entire premise of why they're designing stuff in this community is to
Yeah.
sell parts kits. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're right. You know what? I
I mean,
can't really argue with you on that, but I
people
mean,
selling $750 set me kits.
yeah.
I'll call them out directly on that one because that's some bullshit, dude. Dude, I bought a press for $200 and my
Uh-huh.
set me kit. It cost me less than to buy that. I was drunk. I was able to assemble my press my barrel without any context of how to do it, and pin it in under an hour. And
For real?
they're charging 50 they're charging you $350 to do that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Like I
some
understand your time is valuable, but holy shit, dude. I mean, people agree. I'm not gonna that's the one time I'm not gonna turn away. That's scamming people.
no, you're
Like I
oh,
you should make
you're
money
right.
if you're gonna try to make money. I agree you need to make money, but holy shit.
I mean, look, I'm gonna say something. I think making money, we all have to make money to survive, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, we also have to learn how to respect the money we make, right?
Mhm.
And if we learn how to respect what we're making, we'll be able to live okay off of it. A lot of us don't know how to do that because a lot of us were not taught the value of money. And I'm gonna tell you something, bro, and this is facts. This is true. I didn't really respect money as I was growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't really have that much of a structural uh, upbringing, to be sincere. I was one of those kids that was like the black sheep of the family, and my a lot of people around me in the beginning, once they started see me get into the 3D building and the 2A community, were kind of like, "Why are you doing that?" You know, I'm a first generation American, so my family is Mexican, and in Mexico, the few people that have guns are either police officers or criminals.
Yeah.
You know, so it's very hard to see that. So once I started learning that I had to how to respect a weapon, how to respect a gun, uh, how to control myself and be like, yes, I do have a gun, but just because I got a gun, I'm not better than anybody. I'm not, I'm gonna use
Yeah.
this for my protection and treat it with respect. I started learning to respect money. I started learning that everything has a certain energy that we have to connect towards it and learn how to respect it because that's how we're supposed to treat each other with respect. We're able to sit here, me and you, have a conversation, agree, disagree, but we're still enjoying our conversation. And I think a lot of people need to realize that the more we respect money, people, other things, the more we get in life because people see that from us and realize, hey, this guy's not a damn piece of shit, you know? I mean,
And,
there's no other way I could
well,
put it.
for me, it kind of goes back to, well, and it goes back to, are we cool yet? Even, and
Yeah.
the reason why we do it. There's a strict no business rule. So like I'll call out my buddy Invader Zip here for a second. he's selling parts kits. He's making money, but that's not why he built the Ark. And he's making enough money that it probably pays for. I mean, I don't know exactly how much money he makes,
It pays
obviously,
for the
but
person that expects the screws. That's who it's
yeah,
paying
like
for. Have you
well,
guys seen that quality control? She's
like on
amazing. I think
TikTok.
it's no the it's his daughter, right? The one.
Oh, I thought
Is
you were
it?
talking about something else. I think so. Yeah,
No.
but like
Yeah, so
I
it's
I
going
mean
for
like
her future.
he's selling kits. He might even be profiting a little bit, but it's
Yeah,
like the time and money and the effort that he's putting into his design. That's where a lot of this money is going, and that's
exactly.
for me. That's kind of what it's like. Okay, if you're making money, but for a lot of us, it's just a hobby. So
Yeah.
so there's a strict no business rule within Are We Cool Yet for that very reason because business ruins friendships. It just does. Like
No, you're
it
100%
ruins shit.
right.
Making money be involved just ruins crap. And so if it's a hobby, like I said, I have no issue with people chasing money. I mean, like what you're doing, I assume you want to make some money off this. I think you're selling like harlot kits, right?
Yeah, so at the moment I'm doing the I had those Harley kits for a while, and then the homie start I print shit. We kind of started talking and have them made the Glock thing, you know. So then
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
selling a little bit like the screw. I got a bunch of screws because I bought the springs by accident and I got two of them. So I'm like doing that, but the reason I'm doing that is also because everything's pretty much going back into the like the stream thing right now that we're on. I ended up paying for that, and then the shipping, you know,
Yeah, and it doesn't
stuff
all
like
have
that.
it doesn't even all have to go back into it. Like I said, I got no issue with people spending money. Like I even
Yeah.
have, when Black Lotus Coalition BLC, did you say that right? Coalition. Um, like when they released the Harlot, okay, it was controversial. I
Yeah.
didn't give a shit that they were charging for files.
Hmm.
Because if they want to do that, in my opinion, that's their right. The thing that
Yeah.
I thought was bad is I was like, you guys kind of put this up everywhere, and you're this newer community. You're trying to start this community. You're not helping yourselves. Like, every time there's a release within Are We Cool Yet, I'd assume it's the same way everywhere.
Hmm.
Like, when the Arc releases, that drives people to join Element, to find the Are We Cool Yet lobby, to find the Arc room, and connect with people.
Yeah, that's how I did it when you guys did the bento box stuff.
Yeah,
Like that,
exactly.
that I think it's to be honest, it's one of the first actual groups I joined was Are We Cold Yet Lobby and stuff like that.
Yeah, and so it's like it brings people there. It helps grow the community. And like the reason why I made my way to Are We Cool Yet was because of the Locust. You even know what the Locust is? The Leopard
Yeah,
122. It's
yeah,
yeah,
that thing's
still
nice.
not even in beta yet. It's still in alpha. I give them.
What's going on with that?
It's just really technical.
Because it's it's the one that they have like all the nice designs and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
I
Yeah.
think it's a really technical build, and it goes back to I think he's got it to where he thinks it's going to be ready for beta,
Mhm.
but he needs his alpha testers to finish up a couple things first. And
Mhm.
it's time consuming technical build, so it's not a Glock. It's not like I'm going to
It's
put it
not
together in 20 minutes.
not a Glock, guys.
It's like I'm going to have to sit down. I'm going to have to freaking file things. I have to
Yeah.
cut some hardware. Like I think there's a lot of work that goes into it, and that's why.
No,
Um,
you're right because like I said when
but you cut out for a second.
okay, you can hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, maybe not. I can't hear you now.
Yeah. Okay, now.
Now I can.
Yeah.
Now I can.
Yeah, so you're right with certain stuff because once I started getting into more technical builds, I realized like, wait a minute, it does not all fit together, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is this? But yeah, man.
So I mean, that's kind of going back to how I even got there to where I'd like to see us move as a community. I think we're on our way up. I really do. I think there's some drama involved. I think there's hurt feelings. I think people are going to leave. People already have left the community, and I hate to see it. I mean, there's people that I've even gotten in arguments with some people that I really admire.
Mm-hmm.
I've worked on my issues with most of the guys that I'm a little bit of hothead, so I was mad at some other people, and he just happened to say the wrong thing at the wrong time, and I was like, freaking down his throat. And then 30 minutes later, after I cooled off, I was like, yeah, I should not have said that to you because that is not how I felt. But so I worked out my differences, but as a whole, I actually really like where we're going. Like I said, I wish we'd stop dragging people through the mud for little things, like the Cobra, or like, taking screenshots of something somebody said when they were drunk and then slandering them on the internet for 6 months straight because of it. Like, and you laugh, but that happens, man. Like,
no,
it's
I know
happening.
that's why I'm laughing, because I know it does happen.
And I know one of the guys that gets slandered, and is he a character? Yeah, he's a character. He's an interesting guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a kick-ass dev. Like, why should we be trying to hurt somebody that's contributing to the community? That's what I don't understand. Anyways, yeah, I'm rambling at this part.
No, I think a lot of the times is jealousy, bro. We see people out there that are doing more, and we feel a lot of the times the reason we hate is because we know that that person comes from the same place or the same background as us, and we're like, well, why them and not us?
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
the reason is because you don't get up and do the same work as that person. I mean, it's just a lot of ifs and a
No,
lot
you're
of
not wrong.
So
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
you got more questions?
nah, bro. Actually, damn it. I mean, it's an hour. Everybody's almost left us, bro.
What?
Yes,
It
because
is getting late. My wife's probably about to
I
kick me
guess
in.
Cave Cover Bolt, Danny left, Dodgy,
Doge
no,
left.
yeah, Doge left. So
See,
yeah, man.
and most of these guys that we're watching tonight are Arbikuya guys that I bribed to be here.
Oh, that's
No,
dope.
I didn't really bribe them, but I threatened them, right? I was like, if you guys
Yeah,
don't come hang out,
I'm gonna talk about everything.
I'm gonna let it all loose. I'm gonna talk shit about you. If you aren't here, I'm freaking dragging you through the mud, because that's how we do.
No, but look, man, check this out. I really appreciate you actually coming to talk and sit here with me. Especially because it just happened.
Yeah.
It happened naturally. You said something earlier that it's truth, and I was talking to the homie, and I was saying, what I want to do for the community is I want to be the neutral person. I want to be the one where anybody could come into the show and we talk and we just have fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to be choosing sides. I think the only way I'm gonna choose a side is if I really believe that that person was in the wrong, because I'm a stern believer that I'm gonna go with my beliefs and my freedom and my rights. If you're not hurting me, and if you're not and it's not affecting me, man, I don't really care. Um, I like to have fun. But it's something about me is I really love to learn about everybody else. I've always been like that. I've always loved history. I love listening to older stories, to listen, just getting a perspective of everybody, and then from there, I just put everything together and come up with ideas, for the
Yeah.
future. So, thank you for allowing me to interview you, man. Hopefully,
No,
it's not
I'm
the
really
the last time. You know.
anytime you want me on, man.
Um.
I'm kind of like in a weird spot where I think I talked to you earlier. Like, I'm not trying to be an influencer. It's cool if you are, which, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
obviously talking to you, like, if I'm like, influencers suck, you're like, well, that's kind of what I wanted to do. Like, I'm not against it. That's personally that's not what I want to get out of this.
I mean, I don't want to be an influencer, but I'll tell you the truth. I do wanna maybe do something with the community where
Yeah.
I'm actually doing something I love, and maybe yes, making a living off of it, because it's like they say, you when you do something you love and you're making a living off of it, it's not even work. It's doing I mean, yes, it's gonna get to a point where you might be like, oh man, what? But I mean, shit, I love doing this. We
Yeah.
had a great interaction. It was fun. So, I mean, do I want to get known and famous? No, I don't want that. Do I want to get involved in the community and grow? Yes, I do.
Dude, unless you start throwing like clickbait titles out there,
Yeah.
I'm ready. But that is the one thing. Like, I mean, I don't know Crump that
I'm gonna
much,
go
but
change the title
like,
right now on
dude,
this.
dude like
I'm
Rain,
gonna be like Trophy Trout airs it all. Talks
he
about
lets
the
it off.
great divorce.
But
Everything.
see, and even that's not bad. But like some of these YouTubers, I mean, I don't know enough, but like they bug me because it's always the negative. Like for a
Yeah.
second, I mean, I'll think of the first person right off my head, like Reno May. Dude, all his videos are like what negative bullshit gun laws there are, and
In California.
I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude. And I understand why he's doing it because it gets views, but it's the same
Yeah.
way everything else works now. It's all clickbait and driving views, and
Yeah,
I
everything
hate
is
it.
weird.
Like, what was it? Just barely. No, I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of. I'll
Just
say it. Just
go.
I'll say it. I mean, everybody
Like
knows it's no secret. I'm kind
yeah.
of print shoot repeat. Dude, I'm kind of done with him because he's I don't feel like he represents the actual printing community at this point. I think he does, and I think he's found his niche, and he's doing what he loves, and I think he's hit it big. And like, if somebody wanted to send me a skeletonized AR-15 for free and said make a video about it, you bet your freaking ass I would. But I wish he would do more builds that weren't just AR lowers and Glocks, because that's literally all he's been doing lately.
And his
Um,
music too, so,
his
I mean,
music is hilarious. He's
bro,
freaking
how
out.
can you
He,
not love that what was that, the newest one? You get the clock, da, da, da.
yeah, I think the dude's freaking funny.
Yeah,
I
his
just
stuff is good.
sometimes I'm like, man, I want to see him. I want to see an arc. Maybe he's got the arc curse too, and that's why it hasn't happened. But like, I want to see PSR shoot an arc.
Maybe once he touches the arc, his music, he gets writer's block, bro.
Maybe it'll lift my curse if he prints one.
Somebody, yeah,
Dude,
I think it's one of
we all
those
just need
curses
to
you
start
have to pass
harassing him.
on, bro. You gotta pass it on,
We need to start
Oh,
harassing him. Say, dude, you got to do the arc so that
yeah.
Trophy Trout will be cured.
Maybe if Invader Sip sends them the parts kit, he could do it,
He has.
Uh,
That's the awkward thing.
What
He
happened?
has all. Yeah, he has the person to
Oh,
do it.
he got it sent to him?
Yeah, so
Invader Sip, come on. I'll
he was
make a
actually
funny video.
he was actually in the beta. I've been trying. I've been
Oh,
commenting on all his betas. Arc win. I don't think he probably sees them. He's got too many people that comment on his stuff. But
you know what? Yeah, it's crazy. I'll talk to you about it later on.
okay, well, yeah,
All right,
let's
man.
wrap it up. Well, real quick, man, I'm thankful for the opportunity. I'm glad I reached out. I'm glad we made this work kind of
Yeah,
last
for
minute.
sure.
I had fun. I appreciate everything you're doing. I think as a neutral party and putting yourself out there, it's difficult. I get it, and I think it's awesome, man. I mean, I've been listening to your podcast last week and this week, and I enjoy it. So
Bro,
keep it up.
you're making me blush. Nah, I
But
appreciate it, bro. Thank you. Like I said, you wanna your shout outs or anything? I mean, I put your stuff on the bottom on your description, which was only like
my
I think
Instagram, yeah,
yeah.
Instagram. You can find me on Instagram. Come find me in the Auriculiet lobby. Send me a DM if you want to build a 1022. No, well, yes, 1022. If you want to build a launcher, you got any questions? I saw somebody talking earlier. I think it was iPrint shit saying he wants to build
Bro,
a team. Dude, I will freaking walk you through it because we need
Bro,
more love.
somebody said about a I think they said something about a video, like if they had a if you guys had like a put together video. Do you guys have that?
No, that's
Uh
that's one place where our Rikuya really struggles compared to some of the other people. Is I don't know what it is, but we hate making guides. Like everybody, all of us, we hate it.
For real? But for a
Yeah,
while, you guys were busting out those really nice, like, PDFs that look like a damn book.
like the bento box. Yeah, that was just because he freaking
Yeah.
went crazy.
A
Or
and
like
then another one before the bento box
the
too,
Galileos was really
yeah.
good. There were a few that were really good, but that's usually the hang up, man. I don't know what it is, but it's like there a lot of the
Alright,
devs at Rikuya are like, man, like they get
let
so
let's
close, and like, yeah,
let's do
boring
this.
part.
Let's cut it right now, and then once we end it, we'll talk a little bit more and
Okay,
because everybody's taking off.
yeah,
Alright,
we
guys,
good.
thank you for tuning in. It was a great, great show. We have Trophy Trout himself spilling all the beans, guys. He talked about all the dirty laundry, all the nasty secrets. You missed out. Come on, come on. One, two, three.
Five, five, four, three, two, one, go!
Bye. Bye bye.